Our stories are not real and made for entertainment purpose only. Subscribe to my channel for more stories. Now let's begin this one. My aunt took my heirloom at the family reunion, then I showed a letter that shamed her. I cherished my grandmother's ring, a family treasure passed to me with love until my aunt claimed it as hers at our family reunion, threatening our legacy, only for me to unveil a letter that exposed her lies and reclaimed our heirloom in front of everyone. At 32, I, Hannah Lee, had built a life rooted in Meadowbrook, a small coastal town in Maine where lobster boats bobbed in the harbor and family ties ran as deep as the Atlantic. My world revolved around my family and my work as a librarian at Meadowbrook Public Library, where I shared stories with kids and preserved the town's history in dusty archives. My husband, Sam, a fisherman with a quiet strength and a love for bad puns, was my anchor, his calloused hands steadying me through life's storms. Our son, Finn, age 5, was our joy, his boundless energy and seashell collection filling our clapboard cottage with light. The heart of my story was my grandmother, Eleanor Lee, known as Gran, who'd raised me after my parents died in a car accident when I was 8. Gran was Meadowbrook's matriarch, her blueberry pies legendary, her wisdom a beacon for our sprawling family. Her most precious possession was a sapphire ring, a delicate band set with a stone that caught the sea's glow, passed down from her great-grandmother. When Gran passed 2 years ago, she left the ring to me in her will, a symbol of her love and trust. "Wear it with pride, Hannah," she'd said, her voice frail but firm. "It's our family's heart." I wore it daily, its weight a reminder of her lessons: kindness, resilience, family above all. My aunt, Marjorie Evans, Gran's younger sister, was a different story. At 60, Marjorie was flashy and sharp-tongued, her life a series of failed ventures: boutiques, real estate, a brief stint as a life coach in Portland. She'd always envied Gran's status, her ring a particular obsession. As kids, I'd heard Marjorie argue with Gran, claiming the ring was family property she deserved. After Gran's death, Marjorie's visits to Meadowbrook grew frequent, her smiles too wide, her questions about the ring too pointed. "You're young, Hannah," she'd say, eyeing my hand. "That ring needs someone mature." I brushed it off, trusting family loyalty, never suspecting she'd strike at our reunion. The Lee family reunion was a Meadowbrook tradition, held every summer at Gran's old farmhouse, now owned by my cousin Lily. It was a weekend of laughter, lobster boils, and stories, drawing dozens of relatives from across New England. This year's reunion was special, the first since Gran's passing, a chance to honor her memory. I'd planned a tribute, reading her letters and sharing the ring's story, hoping to unite us. Marjorie offered to help organize, suggesting a slideshow of Gran's photos. "Let me take the lead," she said, her eyes gleaming. I agreed, grateful, unaware she'd use the reunion to steal Gran's legacy. The reunion buzzed with life, the farmhouse's lawn dotted with picnic tables, kids chasing fireflies, and the scent of Sam's grilled clams wafting through the air. Finn ran with his cousins, his laughter mingling with fiddle music, while Sam manned the grill, his apron smeared with sauce. I wore Gran's ring, its sapphire catching the sunlight, my navy dress chosen to honor her love of blue. The tribute was set for Saturday evening, a moment to share Gran's memory with the family, some of whom had traveled from Boston and Hartford. Marjorie took the makeshift stage, a flatbed trailer draped with bunting, her sequin blouse sparkling, her voice commanding. "We're here to honor Eleanor," she began, holding up a photo of Gran. The family clapped, and I smiled, expecting my tribute. Then her words twisted, a knife in slow motion. "Eleanor left me her sapphire ring," she said, producing a folded note. "She wanted me to carry its legacy, not Hannah, who's too young to understand." My heart stopped, the crowd's gasps echoing my shock. Marjorie held up the note, claiming it was Gran's true will, predating her official one. "Hannah's ring is mine," she said, her eyes avoiding mine. I pushed through the family, Sam and Finn trailing, my voice trembling. "That's a lie, Marjorie," I shouted, my hand clutching the ring. She turned, her smile cold. "Check the note, dear," she said, waving it. Gran changed her mind. The family fractured, some cousins nodded, swayed by Marjorie's confidence. Others, like Lily, frowned, sensing deceit. Uncle Ted, the family's unofficial mediator, took the note, his brow furrowed. "It looks real, Hannah," he said, but his tone wavered. I had Gran's will at home, locked in a safe, but nothing on me to counter Marjorie's claim. The reunion's joy soured, cousins whispering, Finn tugging my sleeve. Is Gran's ring gone, Mommy? He asked, his eyes wide. I knelt, hugging him, but rage burned inside. Marjorie had stolen Gran's gift, my family's trust, in the place where we'd always been strongest. We left the reunion early, the family's pity stinging worse than Marjorie's smirk. At home, in our cottage where Gran's quilt draped the couch, Sam was fierce, his fisherman's calm replaced by fire. She doesn't take Gran's ring, Hannah, he said, pacing. We fight back. Finn, teary, climbed into my lap, his voice small. Will the bad lady keep it? I hugged him tightly, promising. No, sweetheart, it's ours, but doubt not at me. Sleep eluded me, Marjorie's words. Gran changed her mind, a taunt. I wasn't a detective, but Gran had taught me to persevere. I started in our attic, where Gran's papers were stored in a cedar chest. Her will was there, notarized and clear, naming me the ring's heir, signed a year before her death. I found a letter, written in Gran's elegant script, addressed to me. Hannah, the ring is yours. Protect it, for it holds our family's love. It was dated months after Marjorie's supposed note, a direct rebuttal to her claim. I dug deeper, checking Gran's old email account, which I'd kept active to preserve her recipes. A message from Marjorie, sent a year ago, caught my eye. Eleanor, the ring should be mine. I'm family too. Gran's reply was firm. It's Hannah's, Marjorie. Respect my choice. I printed it, my heart racing. Then I remembered Marjorie's phone, which she'd left at our house during a visit. Feeling a twinge of guilt, I checked her saved messages, finding a text to a cousin, Beth. I'll get the ring at the reunion. Hannah won't know. Another email, to an antiques dealer, pitched a sapphire heirloom for sale, with photos of my ring. I called Lily, my cousin and Gran's executor, who'd helped settle her estate. Lily revealed Marjorie had asked about the ring's value after Gran's death, hinting she deserved it. I thought she was grieving, Lily said, her voice heavy. But she was planning. I also contacted Mrs. Clara Hayes, a neighbor who'd known Gran for decades. Clara had overheard Marjorie at the diner, boasting about taking back the ring to fund her future. Sam recorded her statement, her voice sharp. Marjorie said Hannah didn't deserve it. I reached out to Mr. Alan Pierce, a lawyer who drafted Gran's will. Alan reviewed my evidence will, letter, emails, texts, Clara's testimony and nodded. Marjorie's note is a forgery, he said. You can sue. But exposing her at the reunion's closing will hit harder. She craves family approval. I agreed. I wanted Marjorie to face the relatives she'd deceived, the town that cherished Gran's memory. Over a week, Sam and I became sleuths, our kitchen a war room of evidence. Finn's bedtime stories swapped for strategy sessions. Gran's letter was the cornerstone, its heartfelt words a testament to her intent, backed by her will's legal weight. I printed Marjorie's emails, texts, and the antiques dealer pitch, all time-stamped and notarized by Alan. Sam contacted Beth, who admitted Marjorie had asked her to back the fake note at the reunion, promising a share of the sale. Beth, guilt-ridden, recorded a statement. Marjorie said she'd fool everyone. Clara's testimony grew stronger. She recalled Marjorie sketching a replica ring at a craft store, planning to swap it with mine. Another relative, Uncle Joe, had seen Marjorie photographing Gran's ring during a visit. Muttering about its worth, Joe's recorded statement was clear. Marjorie's been after it for years. Alan helped us create a presentation, weaving letter, will, emails, and testimonies into a damning narrative. It slides a fortress of truth. Finn, sensing our resolve, brought a quiet strength. One night, he handed me a drawing of a blue ring with Gran's written in crayon. For the mean lady to see, he said, his eyes fierce. I hugged him, tucking the drawing into my bag for luck. We learned Marjorie's motive. She was drowning in debt. Her latest venture, a boutique, bankrupt, her lifestyle unsustainable. The ring's sale was her escape, but she'd chosen to steal rather than ask. I felt a pang of sorrow, remembering her laughter at Gran's table, but her betrayal was a choice, and it threatened Finn's heritage. The reunion's closing ceremony, where Gran's memory would be honored, was our stage. I texted Lily, requesting to speak, copying Marjorie. She called, her voice mocking. Hannah, let it go. The family's on my side. Her arrogance fueled me. See you Sunday, I replied, my voice calm but steel. The closing ceremony was held in the farmhouse's barn, its rafters strung with lanterns, the air thick with nostalgia and sea salt. The family packed the space, cousins sharing stories, kids playing tag, Sam's clams a hit. Marjorie arrived, her sequins glinting, chatting with relatives, her confidence unshaken. I wore Gran's ring, its sapphire a quiet defiance, Finn clutching my hand, his drawing in my pocket, a talisman against the nerves knotting my gut. Sam stood beside me, Lily and Clara nearby, their support a quiet anchor. Alan was in the crowd, ready to back our evidence legally. Uncle Ted opened the ceremony, his voice warm, praising Gran's legacy. Marjorie stepped forward, ready to dedicate the ring to Gran, but I raised my hand. I have something to share, I said, connecting my laptop to a projector. The screen glowed with Gran's letter, her words clear. The ring is yours, Hannah. Marjorie lied, I said, my voice steady despite the gasps. I walked through the evidence, Gran's will, Marjorie's emails, Beth's recording. She said she'd fool everyone. Clara's voice followed. Marjorie planned to sell it. The family turned, some cousins booing, others glaring at Marjorie, whose face drained of color. It's a misunderstanding, she cried, her voice cracking. I showed her antiques dealer pitch, Joe's testimony confirming her greed. Alan presented the notarized documents, his voice firm. Hannah's claim is legitimate. Ted's frown deepened, his eyes on Marjorie, who slumped, tears streaming. He declared the ring mine, the family's applause a validation. Marjorie left the barn, head bowed, her victory shattered in the place where Gran's love had always shone brightest. Marjorie's reputation collapsed in Meadowbrook's tight-knit community, where family is sacred. Relatives cut contact, the town shunned her, and her boutique's creditors seized her assets. Rumors reached us that she'd moved to Augusta, working odd jobs, her dreams of grandeur buried under her deceit. I didn't gloat, her fall wasn't my joy. My joy was Gran's ring, safe on my finger, its sapphire catching the light as I read to Finn, its legacy intact for him. We rebuilt in Meadowbrook's embrace. Sam and I hosted a community story hour at the library, sharing Gran's letters, Finn passing out cookies, his pride healing the scars of Marjorie's betrayal. Lily organized a family archive, preserving Gran's recipes and photos, my role as librarian a bridge to her memory. Clara and Joe joined a town history project, their trust a foundation for growth. I started a kids' book club, inspired by Finn's love of stories, each session a nod to Gran's lessons. The betrayal left a wound. Marjorie had been family, her pies a memory of reunion nights. Losing that stung, a reminder to guard what mattered. Sam, sensing my quiet moments, pulled me aside one night under Meadowbrook's starry sky, Finn asleep inside. You're Gran's heart, Hannah, he said, his hand in mine. You saved her ring. I kissed him, grateful for his strength, for Finn's light, for the heirloom that was ours again. A year later, Marjorie sent a letter, postmarked from Augusta, her handwriting shaky. I'm sorry, Hannah, she wrote. I was desperate and broke our family. I hope you wear the ring proudly. I read it in the library, Sam beside me, Finn's latest seashell on my desk. I didn't reply. Not yet, the pain was still tender, but I saved it, a reminder that family can falter, but love endures. One evening, as waves crashed on Meadowbrook's shore, I stood by the harbor, Gran's ring gleaming. Sam wrapped his arms around me, Finn skipping ahead, chasing gulls. Gran's happy, Mommy, he said, his voice bright. I smiled, my heart full. The reunion that nearly broke us became our triumph, proof that Gran's legacy, our legacy, was forged in truth, not theft.